Okay, great. It sounds like everyone can pretty much hear me, so I will get started. Bula, everyone, thank you for joining me today for the webinar in Fiji. I'm just going to talk briefly this morning about a couple of the resorts that we use, but there are so many more in Fiji, and there is really something to suit everyone who wants to visit there, whether it's families or couples, families traveling together. There is really something for everyone. If you do have any questions about Fiji during the webinar, you can type them in on the chat and I'll have a look at the end and see if there are any questions. So Fiji makes a great addition to a New Zealand or an Australian itinerary, either on the way to or from New Zealand and Australia. With so many direct flights between Nadi and the east coast of the US, it makes it really easy, either as a connected itinerary to New Zealand and Australia or just on its own as a standalone holiday. So Fiji is made up of over 300 islands. The main island of Viti Levu is where clients would fly into Nadi Airport, which you can just see on the left-hand side of the island. So they would fly into there, and from there they connect out to outer resorts. There's the Mamanuca group is the most accessible from Nadi. There's a great group of islands out there, lots of fantastic resorts. Easily to get out there from Nadi as well, land out on a helicopter or a seaplane or by boat as well. They get out there super quickly. So if they are on a short time frame in Fiji, then they can get out to the likes of Liku and have a great time straight away. So the first resort I am going to talk about is in the Mamanucas, which is Liku Lagoon Resort. So Liku, famous shot there of the overwater berets. So like I said, it is in the Mamanucas, nice and easy to get to from Nadi. And they do have the helicopter helipad, as well as you can land in by seaplane or just transferring by boat. And it is an adults only resort. It is super popular with honeymooners. It's got that great Instagram shot as well of the overwater berets. The rates all include meals, and they are the only genuine overwater berets here at Liku in Fiji. So they are really popular. There are only 10 of them, so they do go extremely quickly. The other berets are also positioned along the beach, some with their own private pools as well, as you can see in that bottom right-hand photo. Very traditional thatched roofs and just a beautiful position out on that lagoon. It is as stunning in real life as it looks on the images. So some of the activities. So the resorts in Fiji have everything you'd expect of a tropical island location with snorkeling and diving, and some each have a few of their own unique activities that guests can experience. So at Liku, they own the private island called Morthu, which you can see in that top image there. So guests can book it for their own private excursion for a half or a full day. The resort will set them up with snorkeling equipment, picnic. They can just hang out, relax, or explore the island while they're out there. The surfers, the Mamanucas is nice and close to Cloud Break, which is a popular surfing spot with great waves. And again, the resort can sort them out with all the gear, with a surfing instructor and surfboards and everything they need to experience that. From Liku as well, their position means that they are close to other islands. Monuriki is one of the islands that people can visit for the day. Castaway, the Tom Hanks film, was filmed out at Monuriki, so for film buffs, great place to head for the day, or even on a helicopter flight up to the Asawas, where they can swim with sharks and manta rays. And as a side note to Liku, they do also have a sister property called Malolo, which is literally around the corner from Liku, so a great position in the island. And it is a family-friendly resort as well. So for those that visit as a honeymoon couple and want to return to Fiji a few years later with their family, they can visit the sister property. So the next one is Royal Debui. Royal Tavui is located in the Benga Lagoon, which is just south of Pacific Harbour on Viti Levu. To get there, it's about a 2.5-hour drive from Nadi Airport by road down to Pacific Harbour, or a 35-minute direct flight from Nadi. And from Pacific Harbour, guests will connect with a boat ride, which takes about 30 minutes, or they can helicopter straight from Nadi Airport down to Royal Tavui itself and land in the helipad. It's another adults-only resort, very small, only 16 villas, and they all have their own private pools, all very privately positioned. You can see in the image down below of the island. It is just a small little island in the middle of the ocean, and very green, very lush, lots of gardens, and all the villas are tucked away, very private and looking out over the ocean with a stunning sunset view as well. They just have one main restaurant, but they are super flexible at doing private dining around the island as well, either on the balcony at your own villa or in different spots around the island. So the most popular activity for Royal Tavui guests is the sand K, which you can see at the top there. It emerges from the ocean during the day as the tide goes down. It's quite a sight to see this stretch of sand just appearing out of the ocean as you approach it. They boat you out there. It's just a short boat ride, about 5 to 7 minutes from the resort, and they set you up with sunshade, a picnic, snorkeling gear. So a super private, really unique experience to do from Royal Tavui. Royal Tavui, the resort also has its own 5-star PADI centre for divers. So for those that have never dived, those that dive all the time, they have amazing gear, they have all the instructors, everything you need. And their location in Benga Lagoon means they are a fantastic spot, not only for soft coral diving, but also, as you can see, shark diving without cages. They get 8 different species of shark frequenting the area of Benga Lagoon, from the small friendly ones to the slightly larger and slightly more ferocious looking. So something quite adventurous for those that want to do that. And also their position near to Pacific Harbour, being only 30 minutes away from the main island, means people can quite easily get back to the main island and do land-based activities like ziplining, which is very popular in Fiji. There's whitewater rafting, there's golf. So if people have had enough of all the sea-based activities, had enough being in the water, they can head over back to the main island for a day and do a land-based activity as well. So the next one is Namali Resort and Spa. This one is located on Vanua Levu in the northern group, which is often referred to as the friendliest part of Fiji. If you've been to Fiji, you'll know how friendly it is in general. So for this area to be known as the friendliest, it's quite something. So everyone before I went there was telling me, you're going to be amazed. It's super, super friendly. This is the friendliest place in Fiji. And they absolutely delivered from the moment I set foot on the island, stepping off the plane. Absolutely amazing. The further you get away from the main centre of Nadi, definitely people get more relaxed, and it's definitely Fiji time really kicks in. So Vanua Levu is easily reached by light aircraft. Fiji Airways operate regular flights into Savu Savu from Nadi and also from Suva. And it's only 15 minutes from Savu Savu Airport out to Namali Resort and Spa. So the staff meet you when you land in Savu Savu and drive you up to the resort. This one's an all-inclusive resort, including alcohol. The only things that will actually cost you extra after you arrive at the resort are diving and any spa treatments. All the villas and bures, the resort, are quite unique to each other, and also very unique to other places I've stayed in Fiji. Very traditional, very wooden. It's got they really focus on culture at this resort, and it's showcased every night with their staff performances. So staff and their families before dinner will do a performance, and each night is something a little bit different. So I got to experience the Indo-Fijian night. They performed, they sang, and then the menu that night also had a bit of an Indo-Fijian flavour to it as well to keep the theme going. So the Activities out there, of course, the diving, the soft coral capital of the world up in the northern group. So for those that are wanting to do soft coral diving, you can see some fantastic images there. They also have a couple of unique things as well at the resort. They have, as well as the spa treatments that you would expect at a resort, they also have a hydrotherapy room, which you can see in that top right image. So the hydrotherapy room is an area of the resort where it's connected to the spa area and guests can use it at any time. So even if you're not having a spa treatment that you're paying for, during the day you can head up there, use the sauna. They've got a waterfall massage pool and 4 spas, which you can sit in and look out over that amazing ocean vista there you can see, and they have different aromatherapy oils in each pool. So depending on whether you're wanting to detox or relax your muscles, you can go in there and soak at any time after maybe a strenuous snorkeling experience or horse riding, and then head up there and just relax until dinner is ready. And also another unique one is the Carver Bowl down that left-hand side there. A great place for couples that are maybe traveling together and wanting to have a central meeting space inside. They have a movie screen, virtual golf, and a bowling alley, as well as a few other games and pool table, things like that. And staff can also be there to serve drinks and food if you're wanting as well, or they can absolutely just leave you alone to hang out on your own and watch a film. There's something a little bit different to some other resorts. And so finally, Kokomo Private Island, which is probably one of the most newest resorts in Fiji. It's located on a private island near Kindavu, which is just south of the main island of Viti Levu. Kokomo operate their own aircraft to and from the island. So on arrival in Nandi, guests will be met by Kokomo staff. They have a new hangar opening very soon at Nandi Airport. So instead of waiting in the usual domestic terminal, guests will be taken straight out to the Kokomo hangar where they can relax, they can have a shower, have something to eat while they're waiting for their flight down to Kokomo. And Kokomo have their own helicopters and seaplanes to fly you down there. So everything is owned and operated by the island, including any boat trips you do while you're out there. There's no third-party operators. So the flight down there is just under an hour, and it is beautifully scenic as well, of course. It is all-inclusive for meals and most activities. Great family resort. They have nanny services as well as a fantastic kids club. Their 1, 2, and 3 bedroom villas line the east and west side of the island, right along the beach. So all the villas, you walk out past your own private pool, straight out to the beach, and you can snorkel straight off the beach. They also have, for larger families or groups traveling together, the multi-generational families, which we're seeing a lot more of. They have 3 to 6 bedroom residences on the island, which come with a butler service and your own golf buggy to get around. And the 6 bedroom residence is, I believe, the largest residence in Fiji as well. The resort has 3 dining locations open during the day, and they all focus on really fresh food, local food. They have their own gardens where they grow vegetables, herbs, and fruit. And the menus are pretty much, they change every day, and it all is focused around what was caught that morning. So if a bunch of lobster was caught that morning, then the chef will be preparing something amazing with that lobster or whatever fish they managed to get that morning. And they will literally sit down with you. The chef will sit at the table and say, what would you like to eat today? So no matter what your dietary preferences are, they can absolutely look after you. And as far as activities, they have a day spa there, which is just gorgeous. And they have a brand new room, which you can see in the top there, that's just opened. They're now the only day spa in Fiji to offer the Haman body treatment. So their staff are newly trained in doing that particular treatment. And they also have an amazing outdoor area for people to sit and relax before and after. You can do a village and waterfall excursion. So if you're wanting to escape the resort for a little while and get into the local villages, you can do that and do a guided walk to a beautiful waterfall. And of course, great snorkeling and dive spots nearby. They have an on-site marine biologist that can accompany you. And the nearby Astrolabe Reef is a really popular spot for people. And even closer to the resort, seeing manta rays, dolphins, and sea turtles just swimming past in the bay as well. So that brings me to the end of the webinar. I haven't spotted any questions, I don't think. But like I said, this is just 4 of some of the amazing resorts that Fiji has to offer. So no matter what your clients are looking for, we can absolutely recommend something for them. If you have any questions later on about Fiji, or if you have anyone asking about Fiji, my contact details are right there. Feel free to contact me anytime. I love talking about Fiji. It's a stunning place and I love visiting. So Vinaka for joining me this morning, and I look forward to hearing from you. Thank you.